The total U.S. debt is $101,000. It's 3 times what the stated national debt is. So you have to take these figures and triple them. A newborn baby owes $300,000 in taxes, and the debt per taxpayer is about $750,000. Welcome to your new world. Hooray for Javier Milei. He knows what is right, and he's got the guts to stand up for it. Javier, if you get a chance to watch this, I congratulate you. He is conducting the first libertarian experiment on a society, on an economy, as far as I know, in the last 248 years. What was the first one? It was the founding of the United States of America. All of the founding fathers, with the exception of Hamilton, if you read their writings, they were libertarians. They weren't left, they weren't right, they just wanted to be left alone. Leave me alone. And they fought, they pledged their lives, their property, and their sacred honor in this quest, and many of them ended up giving up everything to bring the world the first free market society, and look at the prosperity that it created. So I want to cover some news articles. Far-right outsider Javier Milei wins Argentina's presidency. Now you got to look at who it's from. We have in the United States, basically, when it comes to the mass media, we have the channels that are all the left spin and the channel that is all right spin, and everything is spin, and you can't really, back when I was a kid, we had Walter Cronkite, and he would read us the news, or Eric Severide or the other guys, they would just read you the news. They would never comment on what they think about it. And now what we have is just infotainment. It's information, but then they always have to put a spin on everything and try and manipulate your perception of what is going on. Try to manipulate your opinion. If they read you the news and they let you make up your own mind, that leads to a free society. When you've got these sides with these agendas that are so polar opposite, and then they're putting a spin on everything, you really never know what's happening. So far right, no. CNN, do not understand what a libertarian is. I am a libertarian. I am as liberal as you can possibly be socially. I believe you should be able to do anything you want. Just leave me alone. And I will, in turn, leave you alone. But when it comes to fiscally, when it comes to spending financially, the country, I am as far right as you can be in that respect. Economically, I study economics all the time. I know what violates economics and what goes with it, and I know through data what the punishments are for violating economics and what the rewards are for going with economic law. And so, hooray for Javier Milei. He is not an outsider. He knows what is right, and he's standing up for it. So, how Javier Milei is battling the worst tax of all, inflation. Further down in this article, he inherited, it suffered from an annual inflation rate of over 211%. Now, I want to remind everybody that 100% inflation is a doubling of prices. 200% inflation is a tripling of prices. So if a house cost you $1 million last year, it's going to cost you $3 million this year. If a loaf of bread costs $10, it's going to cost you $30 this year. So that's the kind of inflation they were having. Now, further down in this article, it says that Milei told Argentines that the process of defeating inflation would hurt, and it has. The downside of the government's economic plan is that the country has entered a recession. So the downside of his plan is that the country has entered a recession. Remember that. So it was his plan that caused it, is what they're saying here. which is likely to last until the end of the year. So, moving on. Breaking. Argentina is officially out of recession after 7 months of Javier Milei's economic reforms. Remember that the economy was in recession since mid-2023, half a year before he got into office. So the last article was wrong. They were already in recession, and it isn't going to last till the end of the year. They are already out of recession, and it's due to unexpected economic growth. Everything we can privatize, we're going to privatize. We do not believe in the entrepreneurial state. In reality, the state can do nothing well. It does everything wrong, and you know what? I pretty much agree. The government of Argentina, this representative speaking, the government of Argentina dissolves the Ministry of Women, Gender, and Diversity, firing 85% of its employees. This official states that under the Milei administration there is no room for excessive expense of the taxpayers' money. Well, if it was money, there wouldn't be 211% inflation. The key attributes of money, the function that money has to have, is medium of exchange, unit of account, and most importantly, a store of value. If you've got 200% inflation, it's not storing its value. It's going down by 2/3 every year, the purchasing power. So it's not storing value. They are using currency, not money, just like every other country on the planet. Milei triumphs. Poverty plummets 9 points to 48.5% amid unexpected economic growth and lower inflation. 9 points. So it was 57.5 7 months ago when he took office, and now it's 48.5. 9 points lower in just 7 months. Libertarianism is part of it is a respect for economic law. Argentina posts 6 months of fiscal financial surpluses. Now, it says Libertarian President Javier Milei takes office on December 10th and rolls out a tough cost-cutting austerity drive to overturn deep financial deficit. Now, this arrow is pointing over here, but he took office in December, so he took office here. What is this huge deficit in his first month of office? Well, I can pretty much guarantee you, this is just honest accounting. They booked a whole bunch of deficits that the government, just like our government, the United States of America, hides month after month after month, and all of that builds up. So to do honest accounting and start from zero, they had to be honest and just book all of those deficits that were actually back here under somebody else's leadership. He did not do that. Actually, if you got rid of those deficits, there would be another bar here of surpluses. So this is all him. So what happens when you have a fiscal surplus, when you've got a budget surplus and there's excess cash? Well, he didn't spend it. He's been doing all this cost cutting. What happens is it pays down the national debt. So I want to show you, he's gone from, in just 7 months, being a banana republic, Argentina was pretty much a banana republic, to a leader in the world of how to run a country's finances. So I'm going to show you the biggest banana republic of all, the United States of America. And, we just rolled over to this $35 trillion national debt, where each citizen owes $103,835, so let's just round that, $104,000 of taxes. But not every citizen is a taxpayer. It's $267,000 if you're a taxpayer. That's what the taxpayers owe. But when a baby is born today, that baby comes into the world owing $104,000. But wait, there's more. If you include the unfunded liabilities, which you have to include, this is just smoke and mirrors accounting, this $35 trillion debt. the promises that they have made that we have to pay for, the total U.S. debt is $101,000. It's 3 times what the stated national debt is. So you have to take these figures and triple them. A newborn baby owes $300,000 in taxes, and the debt per taxpayer is about $750,000. Welcome to your new world. You know, this is if you are a taxpayer, if you work, you owe $750,000 that you did not agree to. So basically, stop voting for all of this free stuff that all of these politicians are going to promise you. That is what led to this $750,000 that you and everybody else that pays taxes owes. Now, I highly suggest reading Javier Milei's speech at the World Economic Forum. You can listen to it or watch a video. There's translations. But, either read it or watch it. Find one that's translated well, though. But in the middle of that speech, he says, now, what is it that we mean when we talk about libertarianism? Let me quote the words of the greatest authority on freedom in Argentina, Professor Alberto Biengas Lynch, Jr., who says, libertarianism is the unrestricted respect for the life project of others, life project, the work of others, based on the principle of non-aggression. Non-aggression. I want to say that a third time. Based on the principle of non-aggression, in the defense of the right to life, freedom, and property, whose fundamental institutions are private property, markets free from state intervention, free competition, division of labor, and social cooperation, in which it is only possible to be successful by serving one's neighbors with goods of better quality or a better price. So, libertarians, diligently plotting to take over the world so we can leave you alone. You know, people often ask me, why am I a libertarian? I do not feel a responsibility to answer that question anymore. I have to respond to that question with another question. Why aren't you? I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.